welcome to our Ashes of Creations development update for January 2021. It is 2021. Can you believe it?
It's the next year already.
I want to go to 2022 already.
Ooh, I have the cam set up in a wrong spot. Whoops. There we go. Everybody's fixed. It's magic. Welcome. We hope that you have had a glorious, glorious year so far. We know there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, but in Ashes of Creation, we have been kicking it, killing it, doing lots of awesome stuff. And this is going to be kind of a little bit of a longer live stream just because we have so much stuff to share with you all. So, buckle up, get prepared, because we got a lot of stuff. I'm just going to quickly go through and introduce you to all of the lovely people here. I am joined by Stephen Sharif, our creative director. How you doing, Stephen?
I am doing well. Hello, everyone out there. Long time no see. Hope everybody had an awesome holidays and New Year's, and you've survived through January thus far. And are ready for the rest of 2021. Hopefully it's a little bit more docile.
I apologize in advance. My cat just turned on the printer. And he's just scared himself. Stephen is glowing. It's primarily because there's a giant window next to him that's lighting him up. And of course, we have with us Jeffrey Bard, our lead game designer. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing really good. Hi, everybody.
You excited?
It feels like a long time, but it really hasn't been. It's been like a month.
I know, right? It's because of holidays, I think.
It's a long month, though.
I think it's been a little bit longer, though, right? Because our December stream was on the 22nd or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did it a little earlier because of the holidays, so that makes sense.
So it's been almost 6 weeks.
The next one will seem like it's too close because they're going to, it'll be closer together. But with that, and I'm, of course, Margaret Crone. I'm your community marketing lead. I manage community marketing stuff. And, we have a whole slew of amazing other folks who are not, able to join us today because we're on, we're all work from home. But we do have a little bit of a surprise. They may have a food-oriented name, so stay tuned for that.
Food-oriented name?
Yeah, food-oriented name.
Is it Peter Hamburger?
We'll be covering reminders, the studio update, design update, as well as web design update, and environment art, as well as character art, and we'll be doing our Q&A. I like that there's a lot of guesses in chat. So with that, I'm going to go through our quick updates really quick, because that's what they are. So first and foremost, we have our monthly cosmetic swap over as well. I will grab that picture. Our monthly cosmetic swap over will be the Paragon's Vigil, and it is scheduled for February 10th, 2021 at 11 a.m. You can check out the news post. We announced all the goodies on there. Our December dev discussion went out, and Toast has already consolidated the answers for us and sent that over to design team. That is our dev discussion login reward. We had a lot of amazing and interesting conversation from you all, so thank you so much for sharing that with us.
That was a hot topic.
That was a hot topic.
It was
even. I mean, that was a small sample pool, but
yeah.
I think that I was really unaware actually about the stigma associated with login rewards and how they are sort of pressure tactics as opposed to the reward they're supposed to be, right? But I liked a lot of the opinions, and it illuminated a little bit more the position that people have against them. So through that discussion, and why it's always so beneficial to have these discussions, I think I've changed my mind on utilizing that as a reward system, and we'll probably rethink a better way to kind of reward players for their time in the game, because it can equalize, or not equalize, but it can be something beneficial to more casual players, but not a login reward, not something that's pressure tactic-y. I think that's really what the sentiment that came across to me.
Yeah, and of course, you can still submit your feedback in there. The thread's still open. We would love to hear back from you guys on that front. And we do have our next one. I heard that there's a typo in that, so Toast is like, oh no. And of course, we have our dev discussion coming up soon for February. That will be on Ideal classes, so stay tuned for that. We also have some guild specific things coming down the line, so we'd love to get your feedback on those things as we flesh out more of those systems. And reminder that we have our playtest coming up. Our next one is our February playtest. That will be February 19th through February 22nd. At least that is when we are scheduled for. But that is all of the things for quick updates that we have going on. And I'm going to toss it over to the lovely Stephen Sharif to give us a studio update.
Yes, thank you. Studio update is we actually just recently finished some retrospectives on the December test that each department held and got a lot of good feedback, obviously, from the community, from our testers, good metrics and data from the test itself, practices and procedures internally at the studio. Everybody had great things and input to say that now we track and look to improve upon. So really, these milestones are beneficial not just for the project but for the studio as well, and we had a great time going through those retrospectives. Additionally, you may have noticed that I think it was about 2 weeks ago we started posting some additional jobs at the studio, and I think we will probably actually have
some of them.
Yes, we are already filling them.
Fast.
We just had our first hire of the new year join us last week, I believe, or maybe it was Monday actually. I think it was Monday. Nathan, a new QA specialist, joined the team. Congratulations, Nathan.
I think we had two.
Have we had two? We did have two. We had another engineer that started. I'm sorry.
I swear I remember seeing the names. Yeah.
Yeah, Mikhail started actually in the first week of January as well. So the studio is growing. We are probably I think we're going to have over 30 positions that are going to be available in this first round of hiring. We're working with some new recruitment agencies as well to help fill some of the more specific roles, the more senior oriented roles as well. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check that out, I know that community's been putting it out on socials. Feel free to share that. The more you guys help us spread the word about the project, about the company, about everything we're doing here at Intrepid and on Ashes of Creation, the better amount of people we have applying and the quality of people. And it's really just, it helps a lot if you guys go out there and help spread the word.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much word of mouth makes a big difference.
So absolutely.
You think it's a small thing. And also, even if you don't have like a ton of following on like a social platform, you don't even realize how much the algorithm picks up on you just retweeting or liking or commenting on things like that. So it does make a big difference in it showing up in other people's feeds.
If you don't have a big following on social media, that's okay. You just tag somebody that does, and you.
Oh gosh, the new YouTube drama? Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's too funny. Just
So
put in all the keywords in there, like every big word that you can think of. No, don't do that.
Exactly.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yes. So that's all going well. And then additionally, outside of that, we are still pending a final move-in date back to the studio. Things are looking better than they were in December. So that is good. And hopefully they continue in that trend. And there's no crazy variants coming out of this virus. But otherwise, that's pretty much a studio update.
Perfect. All right. Well, we do have a lot of design stuff. So first and foremost, do we want to do a little bit of a preface, or Jeff, maybe you want to talk about kind of what's going on the design front towards Alpha 1 before we play a video?
Sure. Again, kind of recovering from the last milestone in the last test, kind of going through all that data, figuring out stuff that we did right, stuff that we could improve upon, and kind of making those changes to the team and kind of how we run things sort of like at a top level. And then also doing our planning for our next milestone. So, we learned a lot of stuff from the last test, and we're going to continue to make changes based on that stuff. And so anytime we get feedback, right, it changes a little bit of what our plan is. We have like a long-term plan, but that long-term plan always has, stuff comes up along the road and you want to adjust to it and you want to kind of tighten things up as you go forward. So that's kind of what we're in the process of right now. We have some things that we don't need to tighten up, and there's a bunch of designers working on quests and population and some of the like underlying mechanics, pushing some of those systems forward. And then there's other folks who are kind of writing up documentation to deal with some of the things that we learned from the last test. So, we're a little bit planning, a little bit moving forward, and then we're going to probably hit our first gear coming up next week, and we'll really start hitting the content pipeline.
Yeah, we just did
Jeff.
retrospectives for the year, and Stephen has been taking a lot of that feedback in as well.
Yeah, so Jeff, I just want to remind you, next week actually is February. I just thought you might enjoy.
No,
just enjoy that. Just like, wait,
No.
what? No.
We have a milestone in February.
I know. No, but you guys are going to be seeing a video here coming up. We're going to do this video shortly.
Yeah,
I just
want
want
right now.
Perfect.
Like,
I just want to preface. Yeah, I just want to preface that we are working from home, and I decided last night that I'd jump on with Bacon, and I know Bacon is beloved by everyone in the community, and chat with him a little bit about the environment team and how the process goes about creating an MMORPG world, doing it in the game. But just so you're aware, be prepared. Bacon has a very colorful mic because Bacon is a colorful person. So because of that, you may see some spikes in the voice, and that's okay. Just prepare your ears.
On it, so I hopefully it has some, but like I could not edit a lot of it because like some of it like just peaks and gains. So I apologize in advance.
Yeah,
I did my best.
The obligatory preface here obviously is this is Alpha 1. This is the preview of Alpha 1. Keep in mind, this is not a finished product. This is still a work in progress. If you're just joining us, we do have an open development. Our project is an open development, so you get to see the nitty gritty and under the hood, so to speak. So keep that in mind.
All right. And with that, we will be playing a 25-minute video. So we'll see you in about 25 minutes. Oh, were you saying something, Jeff?
I forgot to hit my key. I'm just saying
okay.
we'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream day on Ashes of Creation. I hope you guys are all doing great out there. We are here back with another video in the Alpha 1 of Ashes of Creation on Vera, and I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, one of my favorite people in the world, Mr. Michael Bacon.
Oh, you built that up way too much. Hello.
Very happy to have you here. I know the audience, you're a fan favorite, Michael. You know that.
Yeah,
and
right.
we love to hear, yes, we love to hear, about what really goes into making an MMO world, because you have a ton of experience and you've worked on so many projects. And, just going through your portfolio is like seeing some of the legendary games that we've all loved and treasured over the years.
Dude, you're building this up way too much.
I'm just being honest.
How am I going to follow that?
No, but I mean, you and the team, the environment team, are doing such an amazing job. Every time I'm watching updates of the world just being built, I'm like, oh, this is getting better and better.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
the team's done an amazing job, for sure.
How have things been going so far for this Alpha 1 with you guys?
Good. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, obviously, it's the biggest game I've ever worked on. But everybody's excited with the work that we're doing, and we really like the way this biome's turning out, which is great.
Yeah, the biome is turning out great. As a matter of fact, I have my UI turned off just so I can get the full look at everything. And we're in a pretty interesting spot right now in this particular map. We're on top of a giant rock canopy, aren't we?
Yep, that's where we are. Over the kind of Pirate Cove kind of area.
Maybe we can walk over this while we talk a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So what's been some of your favorite aspects of this particular milestone for Alpha 1 and building kind of this world?
Can I actually walk and talk at the same time? Yeah, I guess I can. What was the question again?
So great. No, what's been some of your favorite aspects of this Alpha 1, and the building this part of the world?
Oh, obviously the environment is gorgeous. Just the content or the theme that we used on it, with the being the tropics. Sorry, I cannot do this at the same time. I'm like crisscrossing hands now, trying to get the thing to. You got using this push to talk thing. It's like crazy. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, right here. I'm sorry.
I can only walk straight and talk at the same time.
Oh, you're killing me. That's so great. This is gonna be great. No, that's fine. Let's just let's go up here to like the edge, and then we can just kind of sit here and talk a little bit with this vista, I guess.
Yeah.
I love the canopy nature of this. Hold on, let me see if I can jump on a mount. Oh, I need to show my UI. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm sorry, guys. We're doing this live, and by live I mean we're recording it the night before, and there's not going to be any editing.
Yeah. So anyway, just the tropics. That's just the nature of the tropics biome. Is really cool. We're very excited. I'm just seeing the sheer size. Like the rock canopy that we're on right now is just huge. And it's just really cool to take in this space.
I just jumped off the edge to show the distance.
I'm just jumping right in the water.
Did you jump?
I took 150 in damage.
Oh no! Did you die?
No, surprisingly.
Let me. I'm gonna swim over just to kind of give everybody the perspective of this huge rock canopy, where like ships can float through and whatnot, or sail through, I guess. Another thing that's been interesting is, and maybe not a lot of players get the opportunity to see, is there's obviously considerable portions of the map that still need to be built and have cool. Oh wow, there's some weird looking seaweed over here. I'm actually really concerned. Where'd you go?
In the water? No, well, I'm out of the water. I'm on the shore.
Which shore did you go? Did you go north or south?
I think I went south.
I went south too.
I should be just underneath the rock canopies. You talking about the kind of black seaweed? Is that going on? Is that
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be black.
I was like, it's ominous.
Ominous. It's not supposed to be black. There's some rendering issues going on there. We'll figure it out. This is work in progress, people.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to come out near the southern entrance where it goes back towards the main island where the water's still at under the canopy.
Okay, hold on a second.
Another thing I love about so far has been about this map is that, and probably everybody in the audience knows this, is that giant volcano. I try to put it in as many parts of the screenshots that I leak.
It's going to be in every biome.
I know.
Like everyone.
Just like a unique volcano for each biome.
Where do you say you went?
So I'm looking at the volcano, and I'm over near the entrance to this canopy on the ground, like at the sea level.
Oh, okay. I'm way ahead of you. All right. Hold on a second.
So another thing that's cool about the map has a lot of water, obviously, and this is the area of this world, of the world map of Vera. This particular area has really cool coastal inlets and coves and whatnot. That's going to make obviously ship play pretty fun. But how's it been kind of building this world with all this ocean content and just kind of planning for what's going to be in the water?
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
I could imagine.
A lot of stuff. I mean, just the sheer size of it is crazy. I mean, just populating it and detailing it out is, it's a monumental task. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. Has it been have there been any real discoveries that you've made in the process of going through building the Alpha 1 and the portion of the world map that Alpha 1 encompasses that has caused you kind of as an environment team to rethink approaches and change things essentially?
Oh geez, that's daily. Yeah, for sure. But the node system in general is it's work in progress. a lot of variables going into it, and just trying to figure out the the problems that we come up with just creating this kind of sheer size of a world and, getting everything to work properly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been actually really interesting to see the node system progress, out of its kind of first functional stages that we had it in, now to its, more scalable stage where it's leveraging custom tool sets and technology to kind of to propagate the node system from level to level in real time.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. That specific system,
platform system. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been neat watching it kind of grow into what it's becoming. I think once we are hitting like Metropolis, we're really going to see some really cool stuff with it.
Yeah, for sure. And the cool thing, and was always kind of my concern, I guess, initially when I thought of the node system in the first place, was how we can make sure that the representation of these various cities across the world are going to be diverse and not just cookie cutter kind of representation of what players are going to see and say, oh, this is the same looking human city I saw all the way across the map.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think the system that you and Roy working on really helped to capture that diversity.
Yeah, I think like once we really start getting the layouts, the different layout possibilities, for that kind of moving and squared away. It was like the amount of diversity that we can get with cities are going to be pretty amazing.
Dude, the seaweed is so scary. I don't know where you're at, actually.
In the weeds somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I think I'm under the rocks.
Under the rocks.
In that main inlet. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna come into the main inlet area and try to find it. One other thing that's been interesting: how many biomes are gonna be in Ashes? A lot of people are interested in.
Top your head. I think it was like 20, right?
Yeah, I think it's 18.
18.
Basically 20. Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Wait.
And how do we go about generally kind of, coming up with these biomes? I know that players have seen the world map, and they've seen kind of that cut up and represented through different terrains and like tundra and snow and grass.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to represent just about every biome type under the sun, really, and just have enough diversity over the world that, like, when you went from area to area, you really just got a contrast of, different biome types and, being able to experience that. So, I think we just went for as wide as possible, pretty much.
Yeah, I remember, gosh, it must have been at least 2 or 3 years ago now, when you first kind of developed that mega confluence section on biomes and all the different examples and reference images, real world images of the visual diversity that exists in our real world on Earth, and how we can take that as inspiration and fantasize it up a bit and employ them throughout the world of Era.
Yeah, and that's still a work in progress. We're constantly as we're going through like the conceptual paths and things on the biomes that we're still working out. Just adding as much of that sort of high fantasy element to them. So yeah, when they're done, they're going to be something really cool to gander at.
Oh yeah, it really sets the stage, really, in my opinion, when you kind of like are part of these vast worlds, these fantasy environments, that you have the opportunity to be immersed and kind of captivated by what resembles real world, biome, but also has that flair and fantasy that just kind of sets it apart and takes it up a notch.
Yeah, it's part of our, like kind of like we had kind of set like early on where we would have 1 foot in sort of real world and second foot, kind of up in the air, the stratosphere, with the fantasy element of it. So we're just kind of trying to straddle that line between the two, to get a real grounded, feel of the environments, but then at the same time, there are high fantasy elements of it, cool silhouettes, that we do with the vegetations and rock formations and that kind of thing, and and really just punching up the amp,
right.
just trying to like punch up the environments, in a way that's just like, they're just gorgeous and they're fun to play, and they're just super immersive.
I'm still trying to find you. I'm directly under this structure. Where are you at?
All right, hold on a second. I am frozen.
Where?
I'm frozen. I can't move.
Oh, really? Here,
Yeah.
let me summon you. Maybe I can do. I have to get off this thing. Oh, I don't think I can do that. Hold on. Let me see. I gotta swim.
Something weird went on. I don't even have anything in my backpack now.
Oh, that's strange. Guys, you get to see everything unedited, just real, raw, and awesome.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can summon you. What are you, Bop?
Bop. That's
All
my
right,
character.
Let me try to summon Bop. 1 second. Are you mounted or dismounted?
I think I'm dismounted.
Oh, uh-oh. I did something. And it probably wasn't good.
wasn't
Did you get a loading?
No, I got nothing.
Oh. Well, I don't think I
Yeah,
can summon you.
Yeah, I'm completely frozen. I could see the world moving in front of me, but I can't move.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, I'm just going to roam around the world while we talk.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So how many biomes are represented in Alpha 1?
Just one. I mean, well, no, that's not true. I mean, I guess we got the main center island.
Right.
That has like Sahara and a few other different types. I think we
Kind of
got
like
some
floodplains.
Yeah, floodplains. There's we got some snow up in the mountains and that kind of thing. So I guess there's probably like 4 kind of biome types that make up that island, and then the rest of it's tropics.
Which is your favorite so far?
My favorite is this one.
The jungle.
The jungle.
Kind
Yeah.
of
The
jungle
tropics.
slash
Yeah.
tropics.
Well, this is like not really jungle. It's more like its inspiration was taken from like Bora Bora and Thailand and just seashells. And,
Yeah, I love
that
the
kind of
work
stuff.
with the trees and stuff. Who worked on most of this foliage? Is that Mia?
Yeah. She's fantastic. She's my sister.
Ah, it's so good. So great.
It's the same birthday.
That's awesome.
She's fantastic. Now she's an amazing artist. Has worked with her for a decade, over at Sony, and just all of her work is just amazing.
I noticed that something interesting, and saw some commentary from players who participated. The thousands of players who participated in our December Alpha 1 pretest. That it's cool to look across a view in a game and literally be able to see like something that is kilometers away, just kind of progress to that area, and it doesn't change, and it's not like an instanced or a wallpaper, and actually like walk up to the volcano or walk to that other shore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I'm looking at that right now. I just kind of, and the other thing I love, and I know Brian did a lot of work on this for the lighting systems, but eye adaptation as you kind of like approach, the water, and things dim a little bit in the general view, and if you look away, right, it kind of lightens up. Look back.
Yeah.
I'm just doing
Yeah, he's also actually done a lot of really cool stuff with like going into interiors and exteriors and having the adaptation stuff working pretty cool on that.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm looking at right now, like across this ocean, I'm looking at these kind of unfinished shorelines. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And can you talk a little bit about like from Alpha, when we move out of Alpha 1? Actually, while we're still in Alpha 1, you guys are working on this. But when we move out of Alpha 1, the rest of that world, that 400 plus square kilometers, all that stuff's getting worked on and getting built, and players get to see that kind of unfinished aspect of it, like I'm looking at right now across the well, maybe I can start moving over there and just show. But like, can you talk a little bit about like what goes into that process? How do you guys plan on creating, just like moving in a direction away from Alpha 1 and start choosing which biome to work on next, and what area to develop next?
Well, I mean, we have the general sort of layout where we basically take the terrain, the entire 400 kilometers, and like at least get it built in a very rough sort of way, just so we can test and run through like the entire area, the entire world. But then, like what we're doing right now is, we're starting with the tropics, which is what was it, over on the southwest side, and then like we'll start spreading out into the other biomes that are connecting to it, and it'll be kind of like a more organic sort of development environment where we're blending, moving into these other areas that are connected to this, and then we'll just keep doing that until we finally get the entire world kind of put together. So like
that's awesome.
Yeah, so on this particular one we're in the tropics, but if you go north, you're going to be into the tabletop mountain area, which I believe are I believe they're dwarven. I think those are the Nakua dwarves.
I just died.
Oh, did you die?
I just died.
Oh no.
And I don't have a resurrect screen. Oh, it's because of you guys.
Oh.
I'm resurrected. Sorry. Yeah, so the hilltop ones are north of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that actually, we revealed that. I don't know if we revealed where exactly on the map this was, but now people know. We can't edit it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Can you just keep going then?
Yeah, no, you're good. You keep going.
All right. Well, so over to the east, we have the Riverlands, which is, kind of like your classic Riverland sort of biome. And then further north from there, we start moving into the desert regions. And further south from the tropics, we start going into like the heavy jungle area.
I'm excited to see the hilltop stuff.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think that's probably the next one that we're going to tackle.
Like cool cracks.
Yeah, well, plus also, it's like when we're working on this tropic zone, I mean, when you look off over the distance, all that landscape that's supposed to be there isn't there yet, right? So, it'll be nice, like as we're filling this out, where you actually start really seeing more of the world, coming online, and, and the tabletop mountains in general, because they're just so vertical, they should be towering over a lot of the areas of the tropics over on this side. And so like you'll be able to climb those mountains and get up on top of those things and explore that whole different world, or that whole different biome set.
What was the favorite MMO that you have played, Bacon?
Oh, geez. You put me on the spot. I'm terrible with being put on the spot.
Oh, no, okay, you don't have to answer. What's the favorite thing you like to do in MMO?
I like just taking note. Well, all right. Me and MMOs, I like running around killing people. That's my favorite.
Bacon is a PvP?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just like run around, explore the world. Oh, look at this guy over here. What's he doing? Take his stuff, and Yeah. Sorry.
Have you ever played an MMO that had like ship combat or pirating and stuff like that, where you can like take other people's things?
No, I mean, except for not pirating and the old ship stuff. I mean, we used to play. What was the first version of that where you could run around with your little naked guy? It was like I don't remember what the name was called.
You're playing a different MMO than me. I don't know. I didn't run around with a bunch of naked guys.
One of the first ones. One of the first major ones that came out. What was it? I just drawn a blank.
Oh, like Ultima Online or...
Yeah, Ultima Online.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah, it's like you're running around. Just this is like naked dude. You're just yanking people and taking their stuff, and running away so you don't get caught.
One of the best experiences I had with naval stuff, and I've always talked about this in the past, was ArcH had really cool naval systems, and it was really great when from at least from a PvP perspective, and they also had some some cool PvE aspects of naval combat. But a PvP perspective is you could literally pirate people's hard-earned packs and stuff, and I enjoyed that. I guess could be a little toxic, but it was a lot of fun. And when I'm seeing areas like ours with these types of of just water gameplay, these zones that are really constructed from a level design standpoint to facilitate interesting combat scenarios between players on different types of ships, where they have choke points and they can utilize the terrain. I love that aspect of world building. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, that's where I want to really, see this going as soon as we get ship combat in, and just being able to take command of vessels and sail around and create havoc. Actually, as far as MMOs and stuff, I've been playing actually a lot of Red Dead Redemption lately, and they got a lot of really cool stuff going on.
Oh yeah, they did a great job with that.
Yeah, just the level of detail and that kind of thing. So
I think my favorite thing I think my favorite thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 was just the funkiness that could happen with the horses.
Yeah, totally. I like when you're running and you hit a fence and your guy gets knocked off and over the fence. Yeah,
I love those developers
stuff.
that they left that in to just. It's just super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why like right now we're working on the the big systems and things. But when we start getting down into like the details, just being able to create such finite sort of detail, in the characters and and mounts and ships and travel and that kind of thing. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's very.
And just the cities and the just the building of the cities and stuff is gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to getting to where you can level up all the way through camp to Metropolis and just seeing that whole thing.
Oh,
that's the thing that we haven't seen it in any other MMO really. Not to this degree at all. Like not even close.
Like fantasy Sim City.
Yeah, exactly.
Complete with player governments and all that stuff is literally a dream come true, at least for.
I gotta say, like the first time that we saw like recently, it's just this last. Well, I think we were even doing it in 0.5, but when we first started seeing those buildings actually animating, building up, when you're building them.
Oh yeah,
that was really cool.
Oh, it was very cool. And I mean, it brought to life really something that before that was just on paper, and then now we saw that in kind of a block out form, and then boom, here was this animation for it, these effects, and it was like, oh wow, I can see this now. I can actually visualize what it's going to be like to watch a city develop and develop by the dictation of the community and the players. That's such a cool thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that is probably going to wrap it for us. I know Margaret's going to kill me for the length of this probably, but we'll see. But Bacon, thanks for joining me. I know the community loves you and loves the work that your awesome team, everyone on the environment team is doing and helping to create this beautiful world. So keep up the great work, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll see you back on stream, guys.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, I wouldn't kill you for how long that is. Come on.
Well, I figured today's probably going to be another hour and a half or 2 hour long stream.
Yeah, it's more about how long it is. But I'll just, take my lunch later. Just have to deal with it. It's more about Jeff. Can Jeff survive it without his stomach growling?
Oh, I'll be fine.
I have trusty gummy bears.
Are they homemade or are they?
Oh no, I don't know what they are.
Because I know, we have a friend who makes gummy bears and gummy worms and stuff.
Oh yeah, Cliff makes gummy bears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How come?
And they're sugar free.
Yeah, they were sugar free and they tasted actually pretty good. He had them during our Extra Life live stream, I believe. He was trying to feed me all kinds of weird candy. I didn't like the chocolate with coconut. It was like coconut can be grainy sometimes, and it was not my jam. But anyways, we hope that you guys enjoyed that. It was a really cool look, and I know we've been asked a ton of times to get Bacon back on, so we got him on. Maybe I might need to work with him on his mic quality a little. But
it wasn't too bad. The only thing that got to me was was hearing myself speak a little bit, but I just trucked through that. But it was okay.
It's always weird.
I really
want
to know where Michael was in that.
Yeah, it's where in the world is Michael Bacon?
I tried to summon him, but my GM commands were broken, I think.
Did you forget to turn on your commands?
No, I was.
Okay.
I was.
Okay. Yeah, the mic was peaking. That's why we warned you all in advance about it.
But I thought it would just be a cool little chill video to show you guys. It actually, I recorded it in 4K as well, so maybe after the stream we'll upload that to YouTube. I think it's worthy, right?
Yeah,
What do you
go
think?
for it.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
What does the chat think? You think we should load that up to YouTube or no?
No, I don't think they want it.
Yes or no? Yeah, 4K on YouTube. Yay, nay.
But I do want to say that, if you've been following our development progress, some of those big rock formations and stuff like that, we've been showcasing like the progress of like the concept art to the creation of them. And now you're seeing them in the world. And I think like that to me is really exciting to showcase, because I've worked on a lot of games and I haven't gotten to showcase like the development progress and process of it. So you're actually getting to see those step by steps. And I'm pretty sure we have an overwhelming yes in chat.
Oh, good.
Anything else that you guys want to add in there? I didn't see a lot of questions in chat. I know that there's some things that we prefaced in there. Obviously things are subject to change. The water stuff, I know we're going to be making some adjustments to that. A lot of the lighting is not finalized, and
just to go over a little bit maybe what you saw there and talk a little bit about it. Some of the eye adaptation actually still needs to be balanced a little bit. It can get a little bit dark. The lighting is still getting passes on it as we speak. Additionally, you saw that there's a lot of polish that's missing, and that's because, as we said, this is Alpha 1, and a lot of while it looks great and the environment team is unbelievably amazing, they haven't had time really. They haven't had time to polish it to the extent that they will polish it. That looks so good. So that being said, there was something else that was in there that I wanted to mention. I can't remember now. Oh, water shader. Sorry. So the ocean shader will actually be replaced. And while you guys might think this looks good, the final version of the ocean shader will look amazing. And this is a good placeholder, but it's not quite there yet. Also, the underwater post-processing effects that are present, which blurs out a lot of what you're seeing under that water, that's going to be touched up a little bit as well. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah, like we're going to want a lot of underwater content, and you need to be able to see it. So we still want you to have that sense of like, yeah, I'm underwater and this is a different kind of environment, but we also need gameplay to be pretty clear during that too. So
I think the only other thing that I noticed in chat was in regards to the population, like there weren't a lot of creatures in there. You guys are finalizing population and adding more.
Well,
stuff
this
in.
area that we were running around in actually was still a work in progress on the population side, but I just wanted to kind of give people a look, under the hood of what these zones look like as they're just starting to come online from the environment teams of these large games, these giant worlds, right? So you didn't see a lot of population pass really done here.
yeah,
Design hasn't gotten to this area.
I can talk about that a little bit if you want
go
to.
for it.
Yeah, interesting.
I just thought I just noticed a couple comments on that.
Yeah, process-wise, right? Environment lays out, kind of blocks in sort of the environment as a whole, right? And environment will pick and prod at that environment over and over and over again until it gets to a pretty final state. Anytime they do that, we need to go back in and redo our population. So what we do is we wait until a given area is like 95% complete before we start putting down things, so that we don't have to rejigger the population every time a change is made, right? When they're pretty happy with how everything is, that's when we go in and start putting things down. We've split up the entire area into POIs. So POIs are points of interest. And these are kind of areas where story happens, where there's like, some kind of historical event, or there's just a cool looking vista, or they're just places of interest that we're going to populate more specifically. And each of these have a story behind them, and there's a lot of prop requests, and so these things aren't finished yet. So they might be at like 50% or 65%. So they're not ready for us to put population down. So that's why these kinds of areas, these kind of like really cool vista areas that Steven's going to show you, don't have population. So that's another layer that comes later on down the road, and that stuff should all be relatively done by the time we get to Alpha 1.
Cool. And of course, There was a couple questions in regards to when Steven jumped off the cliff into the water. Will there be fall damage when you fall into the water? And also, I know there were some questions regarding mounts. A lot of those questions that you guys have asked in regards to mounts is answered in our mounts video. So definitely go check that out. It's a 4K video, lots of answers. So go check that video out. Not right now, but later when you need your fix. But in regards to the fall damage from jumping off a cliff into the water, will there be an element of that?
I don't think so. Not in the water, probably.
Oh no, well, there will be in water, because what we want to do is make sure that with the ship usage that's present in game, right? You're going to have areas of the ship that are very elevated, and we want players to have a risk associated if they were to, let's say, fumble and fall off that ship. It won't be as strong as ground, right? But there will be some damage. Like you noticed when I jumped off into that water, I probably would have died if it were ground, right? So we'll have to have some type of variant that's going to have different degree of. Yeah, I mean that was something that was important in some, and I want to keep referring to it, but in another game that had naval play, I really enjoyed the risk that was present when you would have to climb up the mast or access the radar.
You wanted to use glider. You had to have kind of your glider mounts prepared and stuff like that so you could jump down without falling and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Or if you're a caster, you might have some levitate or fall style.
Jeff doesn't like fall damage.
No, I like fall damage. I'm just it's what you saw there was a bug. Like it's water is being treated like ground there.
Yep.
We will have like sort of differentiating things there, but I was just when I saw it, I was like, oh, that was wrong, and then to hear that it was actually right.
Okay, cool. I know we would be here all day if we answered every question, but we do have a lot of other things to get to. But hopefully I covered a lot of the stuff that I noticed that was going on in chat. So we have something else that I want to show you. It is web design things. Now, to preface this, it's still being a work in progress, but we are scheduled for a late February launch of the initial site. Now, this doesn't mean all of our features are going to be available, but I have been working really hard on this ever since I started. I've been really excited to get the website going. So a little sneak peek. So first, this imagery kind of gives you like the style of where I'm going with our website. And a lot goes into website design as well, but that kind of gives you that. We will also have a login process, and you'll be able to also sign up with your Google, your Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. So there will be single sign-on solution options for that. Also VK, so it will be specific to your region. Now, some of these features will not launch at the beginning of the website launch, but there will be a lot of that. And then I also have a little video kind of that plays through, like I just scroll through and kind of showcase some of the elements that are on the site. But yeah, I'm going to try to make it very clear to you, what is on it. When you interact with things, like there will be hover effects and click effects. You'll be able to sign into your account, look at your account page and things like that. That top bar will, expand across all of our sites. There will be information on all of our different classes and things like that coming down the line as well. We have our news section and all of that jazz as well. And when you click on the news, we'll also be able to provide you all of the details. Like, obviously, this is all just fake information to showcase the product itself. But yeah, we're working really hard on it. And, that's kind of the stuff that we're doing. Obviously, it's not finished. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little teaser of what you can see in the future in regards to our design. Moving on from there, unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
That looks great.
Yay!
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
it's looking good.
I'm excited. I'm probably going to cry whenever we launch because I've wanted a new website for a while. I just want to make sure it's really clear what's going on and where things are. The shop will also get a redesign. I don't feel comfortable sharing the looks of that yet because I'm still working on the design with them. But the shop will get a new look as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and just to give you guys some insight, obviously the platform-related things such as the website took a little bit of a back seat because our internal resources really didn't didn't get prioritized for website related work. They were more towards the game and the back end functionality of the account systems. But we've had a really great partner that we brought on board to kind of help with this, and that's been Valor Software. You guys probably never heard of them before, but they've done a great job in helping augment kind of the platform team and the workload that's necessary for the website. And Margaret's taken a great hand in kind of directing that design philosophy and whatnot. So good job on that front.
Yeah, it's been really cool. They've been awesome to work with, and we're like a little team that we have, and it's been pretty cool seeing everything come to fruition. A lot of the stuff that they're working on is on the back end of it, the connection of everything. But as we're getting closer to launch, we'll be launching all the different features. As Steven said in the creative director's letter, I'll be putting together an article that goes over, with the launch of it, as well as like what you can expect in the future. I know there were some comments in regards to the forums. I did respond to the forums post about this, but we are not updating the forums currently. That will be in a later phase as well for looks and styles, but that won't affect like the content that's on the site. It'll just be more of like what it looks like.
But you can rest assured that, as the new site rolls out, there will be phases where you will see consistent updates and reworking being done to facilitate a better, easy transition to a more user-friendly back office, as well as the front-end stuff.
Yeah, your account stuff will, like your account page is going to look a lot different. It'll be easier for you to see all of your security options, as well as selecting your email options, and we'll have some documentation stuff for content creators, as well as some other elements in there for referrals. I know there's been a lot of questions regarding that and like stats and stuff. So we'll be bringing all of those things online. That's definitely a lot of stuff that I hear your concerns, and I will make sure that those are in there. But yeah, we're working on all of that. So yeah, it will be exciting. As well as even on our CS front, we'll be kind of making some updates on that for the look and style of the CS page as well. So we're doing a lot of work, and if you have any feedback, definitely toss us on the forums. Toast is amazing and always gets us like the design feedback from all the fronts. So if you have web feedback or things that you'd like to see features, definitely put those into a feedback thread and toss them Toast's way, and I'll make sure that I read that and comment on it as well.
Jeff, I just noticed in the bottom right-hand corner that face, and it scared the heck out of me for like just a moment. Like I was looking at the stream and I was like, oh, what is that? Those eyes. Oh no.
He's always there. I loved the previous stream.
Anything.
It's so good. You don't see anything?
What face?
Yeah.
You should
what
like
face?
tape
I don't know.
You should,
I don't know what
you
face
should
he's
tape
talking
like a knife to one of its wheels or something. Like a little Chucky Thomas.
Just gotta remember to take it off before my daughter comes home.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. That's not child friendly. Okay, moving on from there, unless you guys have anything else you want to add on the web design front or design front. Let's move on to our environment art. Obviously, we got to talk with Bacon and we saw a lot of it, but we will kind of showcase a little bit more things, because why not more art? So this first thing is beach decals, and I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about beach decals and what that entails, Stephen or Jeff.
Well, it's just a way to sort of break up the underlying like landscape textures. Basically, they change their form. They're a little bit dynamic, so every time you place one down, it's in a little bit of a different shape. So it kind of breaks up some of the monotony and the repetition of what's going on underneath it. But yeah.
Right. And then moving on from there, we have our props, and we have quite a few props in here that have been created. Obviously, we've been showing the phases of these from concept into finalized art. Now you're getting to see some other pieces like rugs. I know we've been showing a lot of beds in the past, but now you're seeing some chairs, some tables.
Stuff from my tavern.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's another bunk bed version of this. We talked about bunk beds in a previous live stream, and people thought that was cool.
The great thing about having so many cultures in our MMORPG, right? I mean, when I play MMOs, I tend to see maybe 4 races, 5 races. It's very rare that I find an MMO with more than that. But the great thing about these prop sets is that there are unique sets of props that are being created for each of the 9 cultures that exist within the game. If you think about that, it's just such a large amount of available furniture pieces that then will also lend to character and, excuse me, house customization, which is such an important thing, I think, for making a game your home, so to speak, is the ability to express yourself in a unique way that isn't just cookie cutter for everybody, and it's not a small selection of choice. But there's going to be a wide array of opportunity for players to really make their space their own, and that's what you seeing these updates with these props constantly. You're like, oh my gosh, another set of furniture, another set of chair, you know.
We
But
have a
ultimately,
lot of houses and a lot of buildings, and you're
got
gonna
exactly.
you all have your own style that you're gonna want to decorate your houses in. Like, you have to think about all of those things. And
Right.
housing in games is insane. I don't know how many of you guys got involved in housing in a lot of other MMOs, but people get a little crazy. They do lots
Absolutely.
and they put other things together to make other things. It's just bonkers.
And that's the best. That's really the best thing. I mean, I remember, Jeff was recounting to me one time a few months ago about the cool creations that people had in EverQuest. I was just listening to him tell me about that, and I was just like, that's pretty awesome.
Someone used like plates at one point and like angled them weird to make blinds, and then put like it was just amazing. It's crazy what they put together to like make stuff. But
give players tools and they'll do really awesome things with them.
I know people are
Yeah.
trying to guess what race this is, but primarily a lot of these are Empyrean, and then I think 1 or 2 of the rugs are Dunir as well. So, or Kalar, sorry, not Dunir. You guys are saying they're Dunir, but they're not. Moving on from there, we have some tropics. Now, you got to see a lot of this in-game, but we didn't get to stop in all the locations. So I wanted to make sure that I got to showcase some of the areas that you might not have gotten to see necessarily. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. It's amazing to see all of the work that our art team has been doing. Obviously, we showcase it every month, and we had Bacon on, and he talked about it too. Like, that team is they're phenomenal, and mad love.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, everyone on the Intrepid team just is phenomenal. But one thing that's always been very cool to me to kind of watch through this development has just been the sheer size of the world and the complexity of it. I mean, like Bacon said, this is the largest project he's ever worked on, and I know that's true for many at the studio. But
I don't know that there are too many projects that could be qualified as larger.
The maps are insane.
It's pretty big, but I mean, all of that again goes to creating an experience that has such an opportunity for a unique feel to us as players, but also has that kind of traditional gravity that we want to see in MMOs. So the team's doing a great job in filling this world, and it's one step at a time. I mean, it's a very, very large, world.
Speaking of large, these flowers are so cool, like mushroom flowers. I added these in here.
Oh yeah, Keith worked on these. And I don't want to necessarily reveal what their role is going to be, but I just love the kind of color saturation that's present in these, and the bioluminescence that's in them as well, and just they're another unique aspect. I mean, it's just it looks really cool. I love the little mushrooms at the bottom too.
Yeah, they're so cool. It's very beautiful. I love it.
I was telling, I don't remember who I was telling, but I was like, who knows what these trees might do? They could be environmental hazards. They could have some like noxious gas that comes out. Oh, whoops. Yeah, it was PI. Could have some tentacles that fly at you. I don't know, but they're cool.
It's okay, Stephen. You don't have to be concerned about the PI stuff. They have to worry about it. And then I'm just managing it all. I'm like trying to remember what was said where. And of course, we're going to move on to our character art, and I think this is a good segue into that. So many cool character art pieces. Now, you've seen some turtles. This is the Timeless Terrapin. I kind of wanted to showcase. We've been showing off a lot of the final product, but I kind of wanted to show you guys before they even get their textures on them what they look like. So this is the Timeless Terrapin. That was part of it, and then also we have our flame fin frigate.
What'd you say, Jeff?
I said I haven't seen that turtle yet. I saw the concept art for it, but I haven't
know.
seen it actually yet.
Yeah,
That
now
thing's
you're seeing it in
amazing.
game. I think it actually looks cooler as a 3D than
Yeah, they
necessarily the
really pulled it
concept.
off. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's because there's a lot
Yeah.
going on that concept. Because I was like, I really want this turtle to be like, it's got stuff grown on it. Like it's been just living in an area for, ever. So I
Now
think
the
the
ship
concept pulled it off.
The ship reveal is actually one of the first ships that has begun getting modeled, and there's still some adjustments to the geo, like the bow needs to come up, I think, a little bit. But Atkins has done an awesome job in getting this started, and
I'm
just to
so
give you some.
excited.
Yeah, I know. Just to give you some context in the size, like that is a frigate class ship. So it's not necessarily the largest, but it is a larger one, and that's intended to hold roughly a raid worth of individuals, so up to almost 40 people.
When I was designing that, it was really interesting because there's nothing like that concept. So I was like, I want this creature, like showing like a bunch of different angles of the creature and like where I would like it to be showcased on the boat. And then the type of boat that kind of like really meshed well with the style of the creature. And I think they just pulled it off really well. So I'm excited to see it actually like in game. I'm like pumped.
Yeah, and just to give you guys context also on kind of the, having that many people on a ship, really the intent is for the ship is in essence a vehicle that has operations on it, right? And there are going to be activities for players who are not necessarily the captain, but for them to perform either during combat or during non-combat scenarios that can benefit kind of whatever the strategy of that particular raid is on that vessel at the time. So those are all kind of things you can look forward to.
All right. And then we have, moving on from there, we're going to show the Corvid Castigator. I know Stephen has also kind of already sneak peeked this before as well.
Well, we showed, actually, I think we showed that in the past, the Corvid Cascade completed model, but not in game.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The next thing I have is Tide Snapper. But this is just primarily to show the water.
The barrel roll.
Yeah, like the particle effects that are going on in the water when the creature interacts with it.
Jim did a great job. Obviously this was some commentary we had seen from players during the test. Why doesn't the water interact with my feet? Why doesn't it interact with my mount? Those are polish areas that don't come online usually this early in game development, obviously, right? These are kind of things that we address later on. We try to get the bulk and the core things kind of situated first. But Jim did a great job doing a pass on this particular Tide Snapper and seeing the water effects kind of react with its actions.
Yeah, and then this is the Corvid Castigator. The 3D models are made to. I think we have shown off it in our last live stream as well. But I think they added an extra one in here. They're very excited about it. And Steven actually showed an in-game screenshot on our social. So definitely go check out our social media. You can actually see it in-game as well. And you saw it today with Bacon for a moment.
For a hot minute.
Until we lost him. And then we have this Junior Robes set that is looking pretty amazing. I know, Stephen, you had some kind of conversation you wanted to talk about this in regards to like leveling up and attaining new armor and things of that sort.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, these are examples kind of lower level gear. We're doing a little bit of an audit and rework on some of the gear that's been seen. Oh my gosh, it is raining cats and dogs.
It really is.
It is, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But we're doing a little bit of an audit and rework with some of the starting gear that's present in the current alpha in anticipation for the alpha in April. And this is an example of some of the junior robes that are going to be present, and really the character team just does an amazing job. It's been a progression, and they just continually are getting better and better and better. And it's going to be, I think, really cool for you guys to start seeing later down the road some high-end gear, because up till now, really all you've seen are these, levels 1 through 10, 10 through 20, and you haven't seen the 30, 40s, and 50s.
Cool stuff.
progression that comes into play when you talk about character gear obviously is going to be with regards to the materials that are being used, the general silhouette and its size and impression. These all of these things progress as you move further down that road, as we're accustomed to.
Some people are like, they don't want to see it because they want it to be a surprise. I really like this chest plate section, how it's like strapped on there. That's really neat. It's cool.
Yeah, do we know who did this one?
I probably could figure it out if I went through the stuff, but I'm running all the things. So moving on from here, we have some Empyrean hair. So I know some folks were asking for longer hairstyles, more feminine hairstyles. So here we're going to showcase a couple screenshots of that. And then actually I have a turntable of this hair as well.
I think Jinsey did this hair, and just to give you guys, an idea, like again, character art's always progressing, but you can see here kind of the quality and standard that we're aiming for when it comes to these types of, as Jeff put it, putting a bow on things, right? Jeff, you said yesterday, and it really stuck with me. Yeah, hair is essentially a bow on your character.
Yeah, no, it's like things don't look complete until all the pieces are there, and you don't necessarily know what pieces are missing until it all comes together. And like hair is one of those things that really makes a character look complete. And obviously is a thing that we really want to focus on as a game, right? Like we want to have hair tell so much of a story, and like is one of those ways you really make your character feel like your own. So it's one of those things where you have to think a lot about and make sure we're making good choices on, because that's going to be how you express yourself, at the end of the day. So yeah, it's a thing we spend a lot of time on.
In chat, I want to see how many of you spend a really long time on character create for your character. Just to put a yes in chat, because I'm curious. Because I know that there are people out there that spend hours, like sometimes like a full day, just creating their character. So they want to like prepare it and save the template so that like on launch day they have it. Yeah, it's overwhelming. Yes in chat. So we want to have a lot of options for you and availability on that front.
I've always hated when MMO launch days come and the MMO does not provide you an opportunity to access the character creator and save your options prior, because now you're having to deal with the option of, oh my gosh, I need to rush to get in game so I can level as quickly as possible, versus I want to spend time on my character and I'm going to have to buy a cosmetic potion later on so I can change what I did to just accepted the presets. Totally. But another funny thing, and Jeff and I used to play Pathfinder often, 3 or 4 years ago before the production start to hit the fan. And one of the things I loved in Pathfinder that we played tabletop RPG was just making the backstory of my character, creating kind of the unique mechanics that can be built off of its skill sets. And, the same is true for MMORPGs, really, but to a greater extent because it's visual as opposed to pen and paper, right?
It's at Cyberpunk 2077. Mm-hmm. I deleted 3 characters because they didn't look right to me in the mirror. Even though you never really see your character, like they just didn't look right in game, and I had to go back to the drawing board. Like, you need it.
That is funny.
That's funny, yeah. I play a lot of tabletop, so for me, I totally get where you're coming from, Stephen, on that front. So yeah, it's good stuff.
And I really get into it. And actually, it's so funny in the tabletop stuff. Like, I will commit actions that I feel are appropriate from a roleplay perspective for my character based on its backstory. But the other players at the table won't understand, and they'll think I'm just being a punk. What? Like what?
Like killing my character after we had an agreement.
Wait, what was that? No, remind me, what happened? I don't remember.
Jeff, don't worry, he's killed my characters too.
It was what?
John, I can't remember what it was. It was a custom race, and
oh yeah, we made a race that lived underground. We were called the Vodwar.
Yes, and you took out one of our party members, and I was.
But that's because you were racist against us, because you were overlanders.
I wasn't. I made an agreement with you. I'm like, I understand why you had these actions. I could kill you now, but I won't. Let's keep moving forward. And then when I was sleeping, you killed me.
Well, to be fair, I could kill you now is a veiled threat, and we had to kill you because we can't just let somebody who thinks they can kill us live. That was not that was not congruent with our race's personalities that we've built. So I'm sorry I killed you, Jeff. I apologize.
But you're a great example of sticking the character.
Oh, I love it. Oh, great.
Stephen has killed many a character. I feel like probably Montes and Brontes are missing each other right now. You've ruined a family, Stephen.
Montes and Brontes
No,
were
those
too
were
powerful.
McPhee.
They were they were like some die-hard cheesy character barbarians that you and Brian made, and it was just an affront to the campaign. They had to die.
Come on. We were Shield Bros. We were
Little power gamer. Although to be fair, Jeff is the worst power gamer.
we
I
were
will say
told
that.
to make
Brian
a
asked me for
character who
advice on
we
that character.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
We were told to make powerful characters because they're probably going to die, and you made us make like 5 characters. So
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, I derailed the
okay,
conversation.
it's fine. Oh. All right. Beyond that, we've got. Let's go to the next thing. We have the Thundering Bolt Beast, and actually,
that's
I
good.
have a video of this, so I'm going to play that for you all here. Got a little music in the background too. Hopefully you enjoy it. But yeah, this is the creation of it. And I apologize in advance to our art team when I sent over like the design for this, and not the concept. Before we even got to concept, they're like, "I thought we had these bodies. Why are there so many wings?" And
Yeah,
I'm like,
let's just say when I found out about it afterwards, I was like, Margaret, what are you doing?
Look, I'm following the guidelines now. I just got really excited and I wanted to create this monster.
But to be fair, what you're seeing here from a scale perspective for the writer is not going to be the accurate scale of a tier 2 mount. This is an example of a mount that's tier 2 that you'll have as skins, and some people purchase this, but it can be applied as a royal mount as well. And essentially, if a royal mount is available to you because you're either a lord of a castle or mayor of a metropolis, we're going to scale up the applicable skins so that they can be used as the royal mount as well. And this is a version of the royal scaling. So
I'm excited to see the variations of this for the NPC monsters and stuff like that. I think you guys are gonna have fun with that.
We will be having lots of fun with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like kind of what you guys design as far as like monster abilities for it and stuff. It looks sick. So yeah, I'm very excited to see the animation come to life for it. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for our dev update on that front. And now we're going to get into the Q&A, and then we'll wrap things up for today. So if you didn't already know, we always put up, usually we put up a Q&A over on our forums, and Toast, our lovely senior community manager who's amazing, Lieutenant Toast always kind of puts together the answers for people. So even if your answers don't get or even if your questions don't get answered here, she does an amazing job of trying to answer as many as that she can on the forums. Now, not all of them are going to get answered, but if they're repeated ones that we've answered like a million times already, she's usually pretty good about getting those to you guys. As well as I noticed that some of our community has already been doing that, so thank you. That saves time on Toast's front too. So please keep doing that. It helps us a ton. But our first question here is going to be from Hicks Haxon on the forums, and this is regarding tavern NPCs. Will tavern NPCs only be able to sell items from players, or will they be able to buy items as well?
buy items, as in, will
like you can
player
sell items to them?
Yeah, merchants in general will have a sale interface that players can utilize to offload either inventory items they own or whatnot.
Yeah, sell items from players, or will they be able to buy items as well?
So essentially, the way that the tavern NPCs are going to work is you'll have patrons of either in-node taverns that will have the ability to list items as part of that NPC's merchant store, and those items will mainly be around food and drink and those types of craftable things that are relevant to these taverns, and those items will grant buffs based on proximity. And then additionally, players can build taverns on their freeholds, and we've discussed this in the past. They will list their craftable foods and drinks and whatnot with their NPC at that tavern as well, and players who interact with that can purchase them, have a drink at the tavern, eat some food at the tavern, and that'll give them a buff for a period of time as long as they remain proximity of that freehold.
Anything else you guys want to add on that front? Jeff, do you have any additions?
No, not really. I mean, again, you're going to probably want to sell items to other players more than necessarily tavern merchants, but they'll be there as well.
All right, our next question is from Digital Wind and Dara Chris, and I apologize in advance if I say anyone's names wrong. This one's regarding marriage. How might marriage affect housing? Will our freeholds still be separate or merged in some way?
The freeholds will still be separate. we're talking about what benefits marriage system brings to players, essentially.
Yeah, I think it's more so. But on the front of like permissions for your housing and freeholds, you'll be able to
Right.
set those, just to preface that part.
So one of the big benefits that comes with marriage, and we haven't really discussed entirely what the ancillary benefits will be, but I'll tell you one of the big ones. One of the big ones is that there will be a family system in the game, and that family system will have a limit, but the marriage will add a +1. So essentially, that if you marry in, you're going to be able to augment your family cap by +1 when you marry, and that's going to allow you to share permissions to enjoy the benefits of that.
Can I
family as well.
adopt Jeff as my child?
I thought we were against adoption.
I know,
Jeff
I
didn't
know.
let me have adoption.
I can be an adult child. No, I was against children.
No
not so
children,
much
but adult.
adoption. I
Okay.
could be an adult,
Adult
child, that'd be
adoption?
okay.
I thought we were doing the whole children at orphanage thing.
No, we're not doing that.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, there are children in Vera that need parents.
Because they lost them to a fire.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. To go back to the marriage, did you have any other benefits that you wanted to talk about in regards to that? Or
No,
how they
I
relate
think
to
these-
freeholds or housing or anything?
These systems later on are going to be discussed, but right now they're still kind of up in the air on the benefits. So
And we'll probably have an
rather not.
article regarding this, as well as a section on our website that will go over it too once things are more finalized on the design front too. So our next question is from Jamation, and they would like to know things about mail. In regards to this, if I want to mail another player a social message without items, will it be received instantly, or will it be time based on distance?
it'll be received instantly. And then additionally, we're still discussing how mailing system is going to work from an item standpoint. Obviously, we can't allow mailing to include any type of resource material or raw gatherable, because those are, central to the gameplay and transiting through the caravan system and regional economic the economic regions. But it may be possible to send completed crafted items like gear, equipment, stuff like that. But it's something we're still discussing.
All right. And then our next question is from Hakaiju, and they want to know, in regards to races, will you be able to change your character's race for augment purposes?
No, I don't think, Jeff. I don't think we're going to allow race changes.
Well, remember we did talk about this for guilds, possibly, where you can be considered a different race for that.
Right. I know what you're talking
for
about.
augments, it's a little bit different, and I don't think we're going to go down that road. We could if we wanted to, but I'm not sure. Like that's a much deeper sort of discussion. We have to game out, and
Yeah,
I'm not sure I like that.
Exactly. I think I'm with you on that one. I think that your primary archetype selection and your race selection should be, because they have gameplay influences, should be final. We do allow the secondary archetype change, and that's going to be through a process. But generally, I would say those two things should be final.
All right. And our next question is from Floki, and Floki wants to talk about a little bit about roads. Will paths and roads be pre-generated, or will they dynamically come into existence based on player movement and activity, maybe nodes coming to life and things of that sort?
Both. So our road system in game is essentially driven by pre-placed routes that lead to kind of this main artery of what was once the ancient highway system of Vera. And from there are roads that become exposed when nodes advance, and we call those veins, right? They come off the main artery. And then as nodes advance, there are points of interest, as Jeff was discussing earlier, these POIs that exist around the world, and some of them share coverage with multiple nodes, but depending on which node advances to the stage that activates the point of interest, it'll create these capillary roads, so to speak, that then stem off of the node itself. So you go from the main artery, ancient road that's large, that kind of runs through different zones and whatnot, and that breaks down into the veins that lead to the specific encampments and villages and towns that then spawn off separate capillaries that kind of lead to the points of interest in these areas that are hunting grounds. backgrounds. Those are not exposed initially, and they come online as players advance the world.
Yeah, I think one of the things they were referring to is kind of like this idea that like players kind of create the path by walking over an area over and over again, right? And that kind of dynamicism is probably not going to happen. It's a whole another set of technological challenges that would be involved there. It would be very, very cool.
That would be cool, yeah.
But really like wouldn't be right for our game, I don't think.
It'd be hard to, yeah.
I'm just ready to see players spell things with that
That's
process.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But also dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Hey, look, oh no, never mind. I'm not going to bring up another game. I was going to bring up another game of people putting coins on the ground and dropping them.
Yes,
and
Lineage.
Yeah.
Oh my
you
gosh.
Already knew, you knew.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, just real quick story.
I
And this
worked on that
this
game,
is
and so I saw
super
I had
toxic.
to clean up. I had to clean up a lot of.
This
people
is super
making coin
toxic for
text.
me, but there was a tactic back in the old like Chronicle 2 days where you would lay down like thousands of single Adena across the castle field so that when players would come up, they'd have to load all those individual Adena assets. it was
Steven, you're the problem.
I didn't do that. No. I did that in response, right? They did it first.
I didn't do it. Wait, no, I did it in response.
always
This is a
Steven's story.
confession right here, recorded live.
Oh, it was so great. But you had to.
Oh my gosh. And then the poor people on the other side, me,
let me
trying
just-
to deal
let
with
me-
the customer
let me
service
preface.
side of it.
Let me preface this. Don't do as I did. Do as I say. Don't do that in Ashes, or else we're going to have a problem.
Oh my gosh. All right. That's too funny. Now our next question here is from Preston or Preston. I don't know how you want it to be pronounced here, in regards to chat bubbles. And I think this might have been a follow-up from our PI meeting. So now maybe it's coming out public. Do you plan to add a player toggle for overhead chat bubbles? And I know a lot of RP folks really would like to see something like this, or maybe when they're making video content and things of that sort.
Jeff, we were just talking about this the other day. You
We
want to check
were.
that?
We will include so we do want to include chat bubbles. We do want to include a host of options that will allow you to sort of manage those bubbles, right?
So you could
that
turn
when
them
you
off.
Log into a node, you don't see just a field of bubbles and
Field
no
of
structures,
bubbles.
but so that people who are in a tavern or something who want to have an RP session can set it how they want.
Cool. Yeah, so there's your answer on that front. And our next question is from a Doc Frog, which wants to know about summons. Will summoners be able to rename their summons? So giving like their summon pets names and things of that sort.
I think it would be cool. I don't think you should be able to rename the summons like creature type. Like that should be like a part of its nameplate above it. But it'd be cool if you could customize the name of the summon
Bob.
itself, right? Like so
Yep.
you'd have like the tortoise wizard, right? That's the type of summon, and then under that you'd have Bob. You know what I mean?
Well, see, a
the
lot of
tortoise.
people troll in regards to like putting their name as their pet's name, so it can be like a PvP strategy.
Oh yeah, no, for real. I did that all the time. In fact, I would make my guild name all of their pets my name whenever we went into a siege, and we would all summon the pets, and there would just be hundreds of me, and that helped a little bit, especially in Lineage when you could slash target and people would run those macros, and they would be like all assists slash target, sorcerer or whatever, and I would just die with 1,000 bolts in me. It was very beneficial.
Also, I would like to see fan art of Bob the Tortoise Wizard. So in the community creations, Toast, keep your eye out if you find one. I'll be looking for it. I want to spotlight that.
Again, though, real quick, I'd like to preface: you probably shouldn't do that. What I just described, the whole castle thing and the hundreds of pets. That's not a very friendly tactic. And then, additionally, don't name your pets something bad. So just.
Oh yeah, we have name filters and stuff like that, and if something gets through our name filter, we will action on that. So. We will have CS and GMs in game that will action items. So definitely report things if you see stuff that's inappropriate. During testing, there might not be as many filters set up. So please be respectful.
I don't think I should have mentioned these things that I did
No,
in the
you
past, 'cause
probably shouldn't
now
have,
many
Steven.
of these players are probably
It's
didn't
ammunition.
think. I know it is ammunition. Now they're like gonna do these things. Don't do these things.
It's okay. Well, I'll just ban you. No, I'm just kidding.
Sad.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, we will be keeping our eye out for like misbehavior. So try to play nice. It's never fun when we have to, take action on guilds and things like that. Shalal is our next question here regarding a map interface. In what ways might I be able to interact with a map and mini-map in-game, like pins, text notes, drawings, etc., for my guild, or maybe for raids or things of that sort? Party members.
It's a super strong desire of ours because many of us are guild oriented. Obviously, the Ashes is meant to be built around community, and having that type of administrative function available just makes things easier. And personally, I'm a huge proponent of those types of things coming from a guild leader.
It would have been handy
past.
when you were talking to Bacon to be able to ping him to tell
I
him where to go.
I know. Although, to be fair, I don't know if he could have got there. I think he was stuck. I think he said he got stuck.
So yeah, he was talking about being under a rock or something. So I'm not sure. Okay, cool. So is that a yes? Basically, is yes. We will try to provide you as many tools as we can. All right,
for sure.
That front. And then we have AFO who wants to, or IFO. Let me know. I don't know. Regarding mules, what happens to my mule with items in its inventory upon death?
If
I die and my mule.
If the mule dies, it'll leave a corpse that has a portion of the held items, if they are droppable, capable of being picked up by another player.
So similar to kind of the other
similar to a caravan or your person.
Cool. So or could someone like take your mule from you? Like, let's say you die and your mule is just standing there.
No, they can't. Oh, no. They'd have to.
They have to kill it first. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
so
and if you were to respawn, the mule would stay there for a period of time before desummoning.
And then we have Sago at 65 who wants to know about caravans. Will other players be able to see the items inside your caravan or have some indication as to its value before deciding to attack, defend, or ignore? Ooh.
So they won't be able to see inside specifically, but as part of the caravan structure itself, there will be little hints as to what the cargo is. So, for example, if you've seen some of our recent footage with caravans, you kind of see sitting atop of the caravan, there's some gold or some silver or some iron. There will be places along the caravan where based on what material or cargo is present, will be represented through a mesh that's on the caravan.
What happens
itself.
if you have a cosmetic on top of your caravan?
There will be portions of the cosmetic that are identified as having descriptor material that's placed on that cosmetic. So even the cosmetics will have places where the cargo will be represented, little subtle places.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I figured that might be a follow-up that people might have. All right, and that is our questions for our January development update. This is a long one as well, but hopefully you all enjoyed it.
We should just say these are an hour and a half.
Well, this is like 2 hours. Jeff, this one was like 2 hours.
Was it 2? No, it's only 12:30.
Oh, well, no, that's true. Because I start early for the stream starting.
Yeah.
So never mind, my stream is longer. True, it is like an hour and a half, pretty much. Well, the goal is to have
It's like
them
a
be
half
an
hour
hour.
of bonus content.
Yeah, it's like usually a half an hour bonus content.
Before we end, there was several questions, and I know we didn't really mention this, but there was a creative director's letter that was sent out. If you guys didn't have an opportunity to take a look at it, you can go check on the site. Creative director's letter is there. There were a lot of questions with regards to Alpha 1 sales being available again in the future. As I said in the letter, we did receive a lot of good data around our last test that leads me to believe that will likely be the case coming up probably around the end of February. We might coincide with the launch of the new site. So you guys can, if you're interested in that, you can keep your eyes. We will absolutely notify you through newsletter and through the normal socials if you're not currently following on the socials or in the Discord or on the forums.
And on that
just wanna
front,
give a heads up.
We'll probably be giving you guys a heads up on this in regards to packages already. But we are going to probably have to swap those out because obviously we can't give you Alpha 1 keys if we already are over with Alpha 1. So those packages will probably get adjusted within that time frame as well. So just keep an eye out for all of those details. We're pretty good about posting it in our news section on our website. So if you're ever curious about what's going on, go to ashesofcreation.com/news. We keep that up to date as much as possible. We also send emails. If you're signed up for our newsletter, please sign up for our newsletter. You might have to to check your junk or spam mail if you don't see it in your inbox, but we usually always send one out every single month. So if you're curious as to what we've been up to and you don't necessarily have time to keep up with it, that's a great way to keep up with what we're doing every month and check out all of the cool content that we're up, that we put out, as well as all of our social platforms. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, obviously here on Twitch, as well as over on our YouTube channel. This video will be up on our YouTube channel as well. So if you're interested in checking it out and reliving the action, or you just want to support us by giving us a like, subscribing over there, and leaving a comment, that goes a long way to helping us in the crazy algorithm that is the internets. Beyond that, reminder that we will have a new dev discussion coming up in February. It's going to be about classes, so definitely get your feedback in there, because I know they're wrapping up some really cool archetypes and class details, and they want your feedback. So
Yeah, we have some really specific questions, and your answers will affect where we go with it.
yeah, so make sure to do that. And Toast does a great job of recapping those things and tossing them over to the team, as well as she'll be doing that in the thread. The last one was already posted in the thread. You can see that in the main post as well, like the main OP post, and she actually updated that section, so check it out. As well as our January cosmetics will be swapping over on February 10th at 11 a.m. So if you want to snag those, snag them now. And beyond that, we have our next Alpha 1 preview playtest scheduled for February 19th through 22nd. So if you are a Braver of Worlds backer or above, or an Intrepid pack holder, definitely check your emails. Make sure you're checking those, because we will be sending out information in the upcoming weeks regarding that. I think that covers everything. Any final words, Jeff, Steven?
You guys are awesome.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. We continue to love and appreciate your guys' support, tuning in, helping spread the word for the project, and we will do you good.
No,
Right.
you are.
All
Wait.
right. What?
Yes.
Sorry, I was responding in chat.
Wait.
Thank you all so much for the support. We super duper appreciate it. It helps motivate our dev team. We've had some really kind words that you guys have sent our way, as well as amazing fan art and creations. We send those over to our team, and they just adore it. So thank you so much. We're going to get working and continue working really hard on this lovely game that we're making called Ashes of Creation. Follow us in all of the places at Ashes of Creation to keep up with us. And we'll see you next month. Doodles.
Bye,
guys.
everyone.